Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko has said it was absolutely possible his forces helped people cross into the European Union, but denied inviting them to the country. European governments have indicted Belarus of instinctively creating the extremity by bringing in people from abroad and taking them to the border with pledges of an easy crossing into the bloc. Belarus has denied the claim, rather criticizing the EU for shutting its borders. Asked if Belarus was helping deportees and settlers try and cross into Poland, Lukashenko said, "I suppose that's absolutely possible. We Slavs. We've hearts. Our colors know the settlers are going to Germany. Perhaps someone helped them," he told the BBC. "But I didn't invite them then," he said. Polish border guards on Friday said there were tried crossings from Belarus by two groups of settlers and deportees on what's the eastern border of the European Union and NATO, one involving 500 people, some of whom threw jewels and tear gas drums, backed by Belarusian authorities. The guards said they had arrested 45 people. Al Jazeera, like all other media, is unfit to singly corroborate claims about exertion on the border, as Poland has banned journalists from penetrating the 3 kilometers, 2 country miles, wide zone. The blameworthiness by Poland suggests the extremity has not been resolved by an apparent change of method by Minsk, which on Thursday had cleared the main camps by the border and allowed the first extradition flight to Iraq in months. Aid groups say at least 11 shelter campaigners and deportees have failed on both sides of the border since the extremity began before this time, although the real number is believed to be advanced as enterprises grow for people's good amid indurating downtime conditions. Mortal rights groups say Poland has aggravated the suffering by transferring back those who try to cross. Poland says this is necessary to stop further people from coming. Poland and its abettors charge Belarus of designedly soliciting thousands of settlers and deportees, numerous of whom are from the Middle East, and canalizing them to the country's frontier with Poland in response to Western warrants against Lukashenko's government following his controversial re-election last time. Minsk, backed by Russia, denies that and has indicted Polish security forces of carrying out crimes against humanity while repelling people trying to enter the EU. Lukashenko and his main supporter, Russian President Vladimir Putin, spoke by phone on Friday and stressed the significance of the establishment of cooperation between Minsk and the EU to resolve the problem. Meanwhile, Ukraine, which borders both Belarus and Poland, said it was preparing totally and completely in case the extremity shifted to its home. "We don't count the possibility that Russia will decide to purposefully shoot a large number of illegal settlers through Belarus to our home," Ukrainian Interior Minister Denis Monastyrsky told Congress. He said the situation on Ukraine's border was presently under control, but advised that settlers who decide to cross over will be pushed back with any means necessary, including arms. On Friday, Polish Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak twittered that Warsaw was happy to accept Estonia's offer to shoot 100 colors to the border. The settlers from the camps on the Belarusian side were taken on Thursday to a huge, crowded storehouse and intelligencers were permitted to retake them. Children ran about on Friday morning, and men played cards while one suspended a toddler on his stage. "This isn't a life, but this isn't endless. This should be just temporary until they decide our fortune to take us to Europe or bring us back to our countries," 23-time-old electrician Mohammed Noor told Reuters news agency. "What I wish for myself, I wish it for others too, to go to Europe and live a stable life." Meanwhile, in a sanitarium in Bielsk Podlaski, on the Polish side, 2 settlers who had been caught after crossing were given treatment before being taken down by Polish border guards. Before he was taken down, Mansur Nasser, 42, a father of 6 from Aleppo, in Syria, who had traveled to Belarus from Lebanon, described his fire during 5 days in the timber. "The Belarusian army told us if you come back, we will kill you," he said, in gashes in his sanitarium bed. We drank from ponds. Our people are always oppressed. Kassam Shaeda, a Syrian exile croaker living in Poland who helps out in another sanitarium, said cases were scarified of being forcefully returned to Belarus. What they've seen, what they've lived through on that side is a agony for them, he said. The Council of Europe mortal rights manager Dunja Mijatovic called the philanthropic situation along the border intimidating and demanded an end to Poland's controversial returns of settlers to Belarus. I've tete-a-tete heeded to the shocking accounts of extreme suffering from hopeless people, who spent weeks or indeed months in squalid and extreme conditions in the cold and wet forest land due to these pushbacks, she said in a statement. All pushbacks must end incontinently. She also called on Poland to allow rights activists and media immediate and disencumbered access to all areas along the border. Belarus said Thursday there were about settlers in the ex-Soviet country. Vladimir Sotnikov, a political scientist from the Russian Academy of Laws, told Al Jazeera that an implicit result to this situation is for the EU to compromise. Presumably, a result could be for the EU to accept President Lukashenko as illicit chairman, and also Lukashenko could start accommodations with the EU just to defuse the extremity and to have a concession, he said.